don't need bigger knife. Yeah.
We are back.
Ba-ba-bum. Welcome back, everyone. We have returned and continuing our conversation here. We were waiting for the answer to what Ben was carrying.
Indeed. And he says right now he's carrying his best tech Grampus in D2 with a G10 handle. But he was running the Gerber Strong Arm while camping with a folder as a backup. And the folder as a backup. Is there a folding Gerber Strong Arm? Is that a thing?
No.
The best tech is the folder.
Is it? Okay, there you go.
One of
He
these
switched
boys.
between the Grampus
I
and the
believe,
Canonian Scallion.
Cool.
Also, Zinx says, good evening, all. What's going on, brother? What are you carrying tonight? There was conversation in one of our later questions about a best tech that is a fixed blade, and that was caught in my head when I was thinking of the Grampus.
Don't worry about it.
I'm worried
We'll get
about
to
it.
that question.
Yeah, we're getting to it. It's happening right now.
The folder or fixed camping. What do you got? Come on, answers.
Right, those things. You know what? I'll start out because apparently I was going to run away from this question. I usually carry a fixed blade, but I usually lean hard into my larger stuff when I go out camping. All the stuff that I can't carry around in everyday life, like the Trailmaster, the Camp 18, stuff that just is not an appropriate everyday knife.
Okay. You put the Trailmaster and the Camp 18 into a same category.
And
as
that
taking
category
out
was not appropriate for EDC.
I
Yes.
understand that.
I
One's a 9 3/4 inch blade and one's an 18 1/4 inch blade.
And neither one of them are appropriate in the city.
I
Yeah.
agree with Paul on that.
yeah, can't.
I got you. I'm just like, the Trailmaster or the Camp 18.
I don't have anything in between those two. Those are the ones that I look for the most.
Fair.
The next time I go camping, I'll probably bring my messer with me because I can.
Take pictures, please. I need to see that.
I'm gonna break it over a log.
Don't do that. Or do. Just make sure you get pictures.
There you go. I'll get it on the gram. Zinc is saying that he's carrying the Ace Biblio and the Witness 9mm,
Nice.
which I don't know the Witness at all, but the Biblio is nice, and it's a fun word to say.
Tuck.
John in Mississauga is also saying cheers, all. He's been
Good evening.
going to the Midden Hydro Lines for years. Crownland, amazing place.
Cool.
Well maintained.
Yep.
I don't know that place, but there's a lot of really pretty area in Ontario that's fun to go camping on.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of, not personally, but like a lot of the guys you watch, actually, they're doing beautiful portages with their kayaks or their canoes or the whatever type of thing. And it looks like fantastic fun. Growing up in BC myself, it's a whole different style of trails and peaks and whatever type of thing, mountain lakes and things like that, right?
Yeah.
And both beautiful in their own right, but I'd like to try the opposite end of the spectrum growing up with, the other thing, right? So
Most definitely. One of you guys should give an answer to that question.
I'll go next because I'm smoking stuff right now. I also carry both, and I lean into the big stuff to some degree, but it's no Camp 18 because I leave the swords at home. But
You're missing out.
The Guardian 6 I've thought about bringing out because it's a pretty big chopper.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that, but ultimately multiple folders. Even I'm going to throw it out there. Always a Swiss Army knife of some sort. I just realized today that my new Craftsman doesn't have a corkscrew, so it won't go camping with me. and the Huntsman will still stay as my camping Swiss Army knife because it has a corkscrew, and there's essentials, you see. But other than that, I will carry some other form of just normal pocket knife, whether it's the Griptilian with the AWT scales, a nice workhorse. I have said that I bought the Kershaw M4 as my new camp knife, so chances are this will probably be in my pocket when I'm out in the bush in a couple weeks. Yeah, so.
Spring assist in the bush.
I should have mentioned, fixed blades are the majority of what I carry, but I always have at least one folding knife as a backup.
Figured.
It doesn't matter what it is. It might be a ZT, it might be something that's more reasonable, but there's going to be a knife in my pocket. Sorry, Joe.
No, it's all good. I guess I'll go next.
Yeah.
I'll bring both, because of course I'm going to bring as much bullshit as I can. Lots of different folding knives, especially if it's stuff I haven't seen a lot of use of. They get packed away and brought with. Although my favorite things to bring definitely are on the larger side of things. And I can't quite find it here. Oh, there it is. Yeah. This is always coming with me. I think since I bought it, this is the chopper that comes with me, given how thick the steel is. And I feel I like batoning with this thing. It's a lot of fun.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun thing. Yeah, it's usually this.
That has been a primary tool for Nigel and our camp trips. Yeah, for a couple years, for sure.
Mhm.
If I had one of those, it would have been in the list.
But I mean, like, stripping bark,
It's
making
in
a
between
mallet.
the Trailmaster and a Camp 18, so.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it would. Before I got the kukri, though, this was the thing that came with me camping the most, and I would normally bring an axe along with this, but the old Leatherneck full flat grind with the SK5, stupid easy to resharpen, holds a fine edge, very tough, and I've pounded my fair share of tent pegs because I'm a plebeian who sleeps in a tent. But yeah, fantastic knife for out in the bush. Although the double guard it can get a little annoying at times.
Mm-hmm.
You just need long thumbs, like oddly long thumbs, and you can go over
Yeah.
top of that Leatherneck
Like,
trial. No
I can-
problem. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable, but it does work. But yeah, cold steel products are freaking awesome for out in the bush. I haven't had the chance to take this out yet, but I am looking forward to taking out this guy, the Trail Buddy 3, just because it's a monster, and apparently I can chop with it, so I'm going to have to try and chop with it.
That thing's like a giant scalpel blade. I love it.
I'm looking forward to it.
John mentioned in chat here that you're talking about Algonquin National Park, canoe, kayak access only. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Be a cool
friends
trip.
and family that's kind of a regular trip for them is they go through Algonquin. Portage.
And there's like dozens, if not hundreds, of just different ways that you can make your way through there type of thing, right? So super cool that way as well.
That does sound super
That's
cool, yeah.
So what about you, Nigel? What do you carry in the bush?
Usually I go towards the fixed blades. I just like the simplicity and the basicness of the straight steel and not folding issues and stuff like that. But I have started getting into my mind more and more the idea of just like a dedicated food knife, and it will probably be a folder as far as like just a cheese slicer, sausage slicer, and stuff like that.
Would you consider that being a kind of going the dentist route and taking a Swiss Army knife? Or do you think you're going to take like a single-bladed folder for that?
Probably a single-bladed folder, I think. I'm not sure.
Fair.
The Swiss Army is nice because you get the extra, like the toothpick and the tweezers, and like the tweezers out of the bush are always a good thing to have. But
I actually forgot to mention that my Leatherman, although it is like an EDC item for me, I especially make sure I've got at least one packed when I'm going out, because those pliers are a godsend. Like, super useful.
What's the name of the wider Victorinox dentist that you have?
The Craftsman.
The Craftsman. There was one thing that I did notice about that is it's much easier as a lefty to spread stuff with the blade than as a righty because the blade is offset to one side and you end up at a really weird angle, so you almost have to use it like backwards.
That's funny.
Yeah, they set it up for a lefty. First time in life.
Well, Victorinox knew that everyone who bought a Craftsman was obviously going to be spreading mayo with the main blade. So
look into your clientele, guys. Jeez.
Terrible.
Right?
Oh,
and then there's a bug in the mayo. Oh, it was terrible.
it's extra protein.
You
What
don't
are you
want
talking
bugs
about?
in your mayo. I'm not even going down the rabbit hole that we went down.
It's a good call. Next question.
I'm not touching it. Next question. And I gotta lean in close on this one. Is there such a thing as a gentleman's carry fixed blade? Give examples. Apparently, I'm asking questions as if I'm a school teacher.
Don't forget to show your work.
Right? Right off the hop, Mr. Fisk says no. There's not.
It's okay to be wrong.
Yep.
Oh, I'm
That
sorry.
The problem is that he hasn't gone far enough north. That's the problem. He went a little north, but the further north you go, the more acceptable that is an answer. So
As soon as you hit a point where people are wearing a jean jacket with jeans, the full, like, even if you got like the shirt on too, so you get the full Canadian tuxedo going.
and you're the groom.
I'm sorry, it's a jean jacket with tails.
It's
Oh,
Like a proper Canadian wedding should be.
no.
Oh,
On that note, Kiefer says, no, but who am I?
Not classy, that's two apparently.
I appreciate that, being like, no, I don't believe it is, but I mean, I don't get to make all the rules. We talk a lot of shit about what things right and what things not, but it's a good takeaway to be like what you like.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. The Pokey Factor now has a message.
Yep.
But that means that so many people are actually wrong. Like, God.
And it's our job to make fun of those people. Come on.
Yeah, that's what we do. Also, I keep
what's the
looking
point
over
of
to chat, John in Mississauga saying it's massive, talking about Algonquin
Yeah.
Park. But every single dick joke that comes up in chat, I look over and then I see that and I keep laughing to myself.
Excellent.
Zinks in chat is saying, yes, the K-Bar leather stacked Hunter series. Gentleman carry?
Mhm.
I'm assuming
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
talking like the one that we have at the shop with the leather stack.
No. They
No.
got some nickel, silver, polished bolster stuff that's
Mhm.
classic.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's talking. Anyway, I could be wrong about that too, but yeah.
No, I do believe that's what the Hunter series is.
They
There you
got
go.
they got rid of the double guard and just have the forward one, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there was also some really nice dog's head stuff from K-Bar that had D2.
Was that they used a bunch of copper with those, or am I thinking of something else?
They did have a copper series with the dog heads. Yeah.
Yeah. Confirming in chat that you guys are right about the Hunter series.
Pretend to know things sometimes.
Yeah.
It happens.
Indeed.
A lot of it's background
Um,
noise until you think about it.
Everyday Caleb says, I believe a gentleman carries a rapier. You can also go small sword. I mean, it's just a different sword for a different time.
And potentially a Chinkeda.
I was gonna say that's exactly what Chinqueda is not gentlemanly enough for him. Like
That's the most thugly gentleman's weapon that I have ever seen.
That's classy as fuck.
The
the
mere
fact that you referred to that as thugly.
look at it. Just look at it.
It's such a silly thing, and I love it because it's ridiculous.
So ridiculous.
So, do you aim with it sideways if it's ugly?
Aim. Yeah. No.
Gotta have your hand cocked.
No.
Yeah.
Thugly, you know. It's reverse grip.
Hmm.
That's not ugly.
With-
That's
I need one for each hand, and I need to be jumping down from high spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I've
Vin Diesel.
I was gonna say I think I've played that game.
Vin Diesel, but a lot more of this.
So Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
We're
with
back.
on with the questions.
Mr. Fisk is saying worst live ever, and Ben.
He didn't see our first one, I don't think.
Yeah.
Hey, think about all the drama that we've built up through all this. Like, this is going to be one of the most like roller coaster live events we've done.
You're not selling.
That's an awesome screenshot of Nigel right there.
Oh no.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yep. He better put that one in like he put mine in last week.
There's memes to be had on that face right there. Yeah,
Hey.
for sure.
It was working again.
Oh, okay,
There
good.
you go. Mr. Fisk is saying that the Pisana will be the best episode we ever do.
That's not going to be an episode. That's exclusive content.
Yeah.
You gotta subscribe for that shit.
You gotta pay me a lot of money to do that shit. Yeah.
Ben is saying that Nigel has peasant internet.
No, it's just
Apparently.
really spotty up where I am.
That's fair. That's fair.
Not fair to Nigel.
No.
Everyday Carry Canadian, his response this week was the Bastinelli Picure, Picoeur.
Picure.
And of all the names that I
Karambit
looked
scalpel.
up for tonight, I didn't look this one up.
That's the Karambit scalpel.
I don't
Because
know.
when you're gonna shank a motherfucker, you might as well be wearing a suit when you do it.
John's.
So-
Yeah.
I think John's got one of those.
Pinstripes? It has to be pinstripes.
Um,
And you got to
Naturally.
slip your hands a little bit.
I'm not entirely sure that I agree with that
completely
choice.
White. Completely white suit with black gloves.
I'm
Only if it's linen.
what? Okay. All right.
A white
all right.
suit only works if it's linen. Like, I'm sorry.
You're painting a picture.
Yep.
Can we do? Yeah. No.
We did mention the fedora earlier, right? Like it's
Can the guy talk like all like use guys and stuff?
Yes.
Does that work?
Exclusively
you just
like that.
ruined it.
No. This is better.
No. Full stop.
I was thinking like the dad from Kill Bill that's like way down south.
Yeah, yep.
All right.
A little twang to him.
The heavy South American accent.
I'll give you that.
I totally know what you're meaning, but it was just funny. The heavy South American accent.
Yes.
That's right.
South America has lots of dialects within it.
Don't worry about it.
No, but I think he's saying
It's
like
the Portuguese.
Southern American.
That's what I'm saying.
I know. That's why I said I knew what he was talking about, but it was funny.
Yes. Espresso-based bushcraft said Paul's PSK. And I gotta say, I don't own a PSK. I think he's talking about my Essential, which I don't have anymore, which makes me sad. What's the little guy that you have, Nigel?
I'm spacing out on it right now.
Little Creek.
PSK?
Yes, yeah, the Little Creek Skinner.
Okay, Little Creek.
Know your knives.
Yeah.
But I would say
Meh.
either one of those answers is not the wrong answer. I have actually carried the Essential at a wedding.
Mhm.
And on that note, I have two in particular from Bark River. And one's the Bumblebee.
That's
Yep.
cute. It's classy, but it's also
And-
kind of a cute knife.
And especially because of how small it is, it can go in the pocket. So you can pull the whole sheath out of the pocket, use it, put the whole sheath in. And then the other one that I have from Bark River, as far as a healthy argument goes, is the little JX6.
Stop showing me that. It makes me sad that I'm not the one that owns it.
And then not from Bark River, but as far as Dennis's collection goes, your Boker gnomes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was going to get onto that. One thing at a time.
Fair enough.
We were talking Bark Rivers because your little creek came up, and I thought it was applicable. But I got a whole row over here that's all about the fixed blade classy.
Nice.
Whether Mr. Fisk agrees with that bullshit or not, like, yeah.
At least we can admit it's still bullshit.
We're getting to what I legitimately feel might be the best answer we got all weekend. From Stone Wookie, Darren in chat. He said, yes, anything I carry that is a fixed blade. So anything that he's carrying is obviously a gentleman's carry. Uh-huh.
Yep.
The Witch King sword, gentleman's carry.
Yes.
Damn straight.
If it's a gentleman
And
carrying
if you're
it.
playing blues jazz on a slide guitar with it, that's some classic bullshit right there. Like, it's so...
Somebody is going to get stabbed with a sword, is what I'm hearing.
Just his dog.
And it's going to be Darren, because he'll stab himself.
Ugh.
Awful.
But true.
On that note, Nick M89 said he actually gave a couple answers, and I actually looked them all up. First one was the Lion Steel M1, which is a sweet little blade. Like it's not far off from about the size of my little Ika Nordic. Like that.
I was going to say, it's like SE3 sized, a little bigger than the Zula size type of.
Yeah. Nice rounded handle scales. I would assume probably rounded spine, and all of the handle would have been rounded.
And I'm guessing probably Schliepner steel, because they do that a lot on their fixed blades. So
I'm seeing one here in M390, which would also be a pretty cool choice in a knife that size.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it depends. Is it 60 like they claim, or is it 52 like it actually is?
I think you answered your question.
Oh, I love to hate you, Lion Steel. You make such nice knives.
Yep.
So Dragonizer in chat, I think, is Nick M, because he just said in the house, and then yes, a tiny bit bigger than the Azula.
Cool.
So what's going on, brother? He also said the Viper Barus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to the Bears.
And I gotta admit a little bit, since I'm looking back at it after having seen the Meat Crafter that has different size grommets, it doesn't look as weird now as it did before.
That's fair.
Yeah, it looks less like a stretched tunnel. Less like what I used to have back a couple years ago.
Those people that have been around long enough and have put up with us long enough to see the January SHOT Show video, that was my pick for most excited about, other than the Rustic Gent, which I think we can all agree the Rustic Gent knocked it out of the park. But the Bearus, I'm still waiting to prove you wrong, and as soon as it gets in the catalog that I can order, marbled carbon fiber with a drop point is coming my way, baby. Yeah, it's sexy.
And it could be all yours.
Yeah. I'm excited that Dennis is getting it first, so I get a chance to handle it and see if I like it before I make a decision.
Yeah.
I appreciate now too why you were talking about potentially getting two of them, because they are substantially different blade shapes overall.
Yeah. And I think the sheep's foot would be really good utilitarian with like the natural micarta. And just the look of that, whereas the drop point with the marbled carbon fiber is just a little classier. Like you said, classy fixed blade. And it's smaller than you guys realize, too. I don't think, like, it's Azula-sized almost, probably, as well.
Fair enough.
Could you neck knife it?
What's that?
You could.
Could you neck knife it?
It would be a big neck knife, but you could horizontal appendix carry, no problem.
All right.
They Blade HQ recently had a video where they were highlighting that particular knife. it made me more interested in it. Gotta be honest.
I know things sometimes.
Coming to the dark side, apparently. Nick also said a small bark river, which is a theme, kind of comes up a couple different times.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then the best tech Heidi blacksmith, which
Yeah.
oddly enough, Dennis and Nick are like in sync.
That is a classy one for sure.
Yes.
That was my number one pick when you're talking about classy fixed blades to carry.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That in the pocket is just, and when you pull it out, no one's threatened, everyone's intrigued. It's just a sexy knife. Mosaic pin. I don't know if I can get a zoom in on the mosaic.
It's
I think
it's a really small
face,
pin.
I can see your scar.
Sweet.
Nice.
I'm looking at some Heidi blacksmiths here, and the carbon fiber it's carbon fiber that's on yours, right?
Correct, sir.
There's one here that looks like it's black and green G10, and they're like touching together in kind of like a chevron shape.
So I
gotta
believe
say that's pretty classy looking.
Is it black G10 or is it carbon fiber? Because I thought the bolsters were actually carbon fiber with the green G10 or orange G10 or whatever type of.
This part here is looking like G10, but there might be more than one.
Okay, I could be wrong, but yeah. Those could be available to the cutting edge, but the price point is not the cheapest thing in the world for those little bad boys. So, like, you could be looking at about $120 Canadian, give or take, for one of those.
Indeed. Ben's agreeing in chat that he likes the way that blacksmith looks.
Let us know in the comments, or let us know now in live in chat if $120 seems out to lunch to you or not, because there might be more competitive pricing out there, but it's just such a new knife on the market that I think that's the best price we can probably get into the shop right about now.
And it's D2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct, sir.
I'd pay $120 for it.
I didn't pay $120 for it, but I bought it used. So, and it was in good shape, so nothing wrong with it. But
that's it.
And overall in the hand, like, it's just as far as the grip goes.
Mr. Fisk is saying, how many polar bear coins is that? 60. It's 60 of them. And then Ben saying, if it's a left-handed polar bear, which 90 USD makes sense to 120, 130, whatever.
Yeah, that actually does convert pretty accurately. Yeah.
And yeah, I would neck knife the hell of that thing in a heartbeat.
I would make sure that your Kydex sheath is going to support that, because I wouldn't trust mine for neck knifing. Not the way it is, but I could reheat and remold fairly easy and make it neck knifable.
That's what I'm thinking. It also, like, as an in the pocket carry, it's like a great little personal steak knife.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the way I carried it, and because of how long and skinny it was too, it didn't twist in your pocket at all. It sat really, really nice and straight because of how long and skinny it is, and it just sat there exactly where it needed to be until you reached down and pulled it out, type of thing, right? So, and then the reach down and pulled it out thing probably should get memed too.
Oh my!
So,
obviously,
sometimes you got to reach down
and pull it out.
Pull it out.
Sometimes. On that note, Tom's said some of the smaller Bark River knives could do the trick, which, like I said, there's a bit of a theme going. Bark River makes...
I'm just going to run and grab mine.
Yeah. Bark River makes a classic.
Bravo, the Bravo Neckers, or the Bravo EDCs even, super classy. Classy. I wouldn't mind putting one of those in a horizontal carry for sure. It's like a pimped out Hidden Canyon. Although, on that note, pimped out Hidden Canyon's S90V is nothing to sneeze at either, right?
I am looking forward to getting to play with one of those.
I forgot it was so small.
Yeah.
It's a weird Persian-y scalpel looking blade, like so weird, dude.
Yeah, because this is the Skinner variant of it, so that's why it's got the Persian-y aspect,
Nice.
so you get more belly.
Still A2 with that guy, right?
I believe it was, yes. Yeah.
Very cool.
Darren in chat is saying, reach down and pulled it out, but with Nigel's frozen face. Excellent meme.
Terrifying.
I don't know. I think it should flash back and forth between Paul's frozen face and Nigel's frozen face, and the combination of those two really gives an accurate dynamic of.
Should I be worried for what my face looks like as I get into the editing tomorrow?
It's a little.
Oh yeah.
It's a little bit more. It's a little bit more nightmarish than Paul's for sure, because it's got like a really distorted. You can't really tell a lot of the details. Paul's is just like had a kind of a look. Yours was just
Paul was
scary.
saying that you better zoom in on yours like you did on his. Only to be
fair. Ben is plugging the cutting edge here in chat and saying, "Is the cutting edge looking at getting best techs in?"
Unfortunately, it probably would only be the fixed blades. Anything that's a flipper is still being uptight with customs. So if you can tell me a best tech that's not a flipper, or tell me a best tech that's a fixed blade, I can probably get it for you. And that's terrible news.
Stupid Canadian border agency.
Yeah.
Border agency likes to stop best tech flippers still. So
lame. Hello, lame.
Yep.
On that note, on a bit of an upswing, I was saying before that there's a kind of a shift in answer when you get to the Russian answers. And I'm not saying this. I love our Russian viewers. Please don't hurt me.
Please don't hurt me. Paul's expressed the fact that he doesn't want to get stabbed by a Russian in previous videos. So
I don't. I really don't. It
seems counterproductive.
Indeed. But Knife Cully's response.
He needs to work out with his therapist personally, but I mean,
leave me alone.
John Wick hit a like it was a tender note on the Russian mafia, right? Like it's
I like that movie. On that note,
you gotta watch out for those droopy grandmas coming after you.
The droopy grandmas.
They called him Baba Yaga, but John wasn't exactly the boogeyman.
Is this
no? Don't
fall asleep.
Don't think about it. Just let's get.
In the movie, the Russian guys refer to him as the Baba Yaga, and that is actually a Russian folklore about weird, scary, ghostly grandmas with droopy sagginesses to them.
What the Slavs see.
And didn't they just summarize it as the boogeyman? But it's totally just not. It's like calling the Grudge Girl the boogeyman.
Yeah.
Like, no. I cannot.
So, Knife Collie's response was the SOG Pentagon, which looks like a smaller tie pin from Cold Steel, but with one side serrated. So
yeah,
there's some shit going on at Russian weddings. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it's a good looking knife. Like, god damn, man. I don't know if I'd carry my infidel to a wedding.
Depending on the type of wedding.
I'm gonna say
maybe the Italian side.
Well,
if you're showing up in your white linen suit, you better have something like that with you.
Yeah.
Isn't that clipped into the inside of your cowboy boot? Didn't we have that conversation this weekend too? Like
either or, yeah.
No, we were talking about the
XL cowboy boots with a white linen suit,
just waving it off the boot, and that I stand by it. That is cool as hell.
Some weird vibes in here tonight.
Yes, there are.
Yes. He also said maybe send up some of the slim knives from CRKT, specifically like the Obaku, things like that.
It's Obaki, but we won't blame you for not being Japanese, so it's fine. It's fine.
Is it E? I could have sworn that's the U at the end of that.
Well, they didn't spell it right if it was a U, so
fair enough. Apparently, I didn't look this one up either. EDC lover Pakistan said the CRKT minimalist, which I think if you went Alan Foltz minimalist with a
That's what he's
154
talking
and some
about.
fancy
Yeah.
handle.
You
Yeah,
have-
but I'm saying specifically going with the Alan Foltz model with a
And the CRKT,
with an upgraded handle.
Although I will say they do make like an all blacked out. Is it a Warncliffe or a drop point? A drop point looking one that's all blacked out. That you could get away with putting onto a belt clip and like, as long as your suit jacket was over top of it, you could rock it almost like K-Bar TDI. I'm like, Secret Service suit man wedding style type of thing, right? Like, it's kind of like a Cold Steel Spike. It's kind of the equivalent of rocking one of those at a wedding, right? So,
Mr. Fisk in chat is saying that he carried his 710 in the last wedding that he was in.
that's a good answer.
Mhm.
I need to buy you that 710 off of you.
Yep.
That needs to happen.
It's over there. Sitting pretty.
That's going to lead a conversation at the end of the evening about what kicks out of my box to put a 710 into it, but we'll reach that in the third episode. So
We'll get there when we get there.
EDC Lover Pakistan also said the GMF2, which I don't know what that is, and I accidentally didn't look that one up.
that sounds like Giant Mouse.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, Giant
F2.
Mouse.
Yeah.
Is that the one that Morgan has?
I believe so.
That one's not
Because that's
bad.
a sweet little knife. That is a classy little, like, all steel, no nonsense.
And again, in the pocket carry, kind of like the Bumblebee or the whatever type of thing, where it's just like you can put it right inside the pocket. I think that one falls into that classification for sure.
Yeah.
And then Ahsoka Edge rounded out this question saying, I don't know why it took me so long to pause there. He said the Dashi is the original mini-edged tool used by multiple classes of society, including gents. And when I looked up Dashi, everything that came back was Kiradashi.
Yeah.
Imagine that's what it
And-
meant. Yeah.
Kiradashis are sweet little knives, man.
That they are.
And I don't know what the prefix Kiri has on top of any sort of dashi. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Nigel calls his a gnome dashi because it's a bastardized way to pronounce what he made. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So
Yeah. He makes them. He can name them.
Does the word dashi mean knife in Japanese? Is
I
there,
don't
is that a
think-
direct
I
translation?
don't think so, but I could be wrong. Could be wrong. I thought Tanto had some sort of definition towards just small knife as well. But also, I could be wrong. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. He's saying giant mouse, yes, and damn sexy with the micarta. But I thought the M2 or whatever was that metal one, all metal one. But I might be wrong. That's if it's not the all metal one, then that's not the one that Morgan has.
Didn't you say it was the F2 that he
F2?
had?
Yeah. Yes.
DMF2?
And if it's the F2, that might be the one that's kind of like Clever Girl Persian-y.
GMF1,
Almost looked away.
GMF2 has micarta.
Okay.
That's just
Yeah,
what
like you said,
Dragonizer and Chad
Tactical.
is saying.
tactical boning knife kind of look to it. Maybe I could be wrong about that too, but yeah.
So I gotta say, scrolling back and forth finally bit me in the ass. I did actually delete a question.
Oh,
But the good news is that it's just the question. It wasn't anybody else's response. So
Cool.
I can struggle through that when we need to get to it. Apparently, you have a list of knives, Dennis, that you would say fall into that category.
But I think we're almost at break time, are we not?
Mm-hmm.
Are we? All right.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I don't know. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Look at that. And we've went through a couple of them, but yes, I have a couple that would definitely come into play for sure, other than what was mentioned already. So
Cool.
Shall we go through them quickly now, or do that after the break?
we can take a break and stay tuned for the answers, and that'll leave a cliffhanger for when we're actually splitting this up for recording. Because we did that on the first episode into the second, so we might as well do it for the second and third. Yeah. I'm
Sounds
pretty
good to
sure
me.
there should be some Inspector Gadget, like cat, like we'll stay tuned thing. Yeah.
For sure. No. I used to be able to do the voice. I'll get you next time. Gotcha.
I think Nigel just killed him doing that impression,
And
but
that's
it was spot on.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, right?
and that's
I
why
used to be able to do it really good.
yeah. Terrible.
With that, we're going to go take a break so I can get my voice back here. And I suggest you all get some drinks and stay tuned. We will be back shortly with you.
See you soon.
We don't need bigger knife. Yeah.